Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks a million, Dr. Kamal Chalve and organizing team and Amity University for the opportunity to talk about various issues related to lockdown phase and management tips. I'm a clinical nurse specialist in Dublin North City Mental Health Services in Ireland. I'm more specialized in psychotherapy, and I invested my interest in a psychosocial intervention model. And I'm just going to share that by slides. It's the first issues or difficulties, changes in daily routines, boredom, adjustment difficulties, psychological issues, and coping difficulties. I will explain to you one by one. Changes in daily routines. What do you mean? Like we are inside, locked inside. So what can we do? So there is a lot of changes in our lifestyle. So totally, it's completely changed. So change is always inevitable. So as you know very well that you cannot accept the change initially, it's very hard to deal with it as well. And you will be in shock and also in denial stage. Okay. So what you have to do is change. You accept the change and embrace it and deal with it. Difficult to plan activities due to change. So you will find it difficult to plan everyday activities within the restricted space. That is, you are confined in limited space and very limited hobbies and leisure activities because there is no outdoor activities you have. Okay. And then completely physically, psychologically, and socially, you are deprived. So next one is boredom. Okay, what is boredom? Boredom is a clean slate. Okay, being bored is an escapism, and you avoid self-reflection, damaging your state of mind and the current focus as well. That is attention. Actually, getting bored is not too bad. Boredom is a neutral. It is up to you to turn something positive or negative. Procrastination. What is procrastination? You are putting it off. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next week. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, and sometimes we don't do it. So it's best choice is do it right now. Okay, that's what you are going to do it now, planning your activities every day. And lack of attention, because we don't know what's going to be in future. We don't know how long we are going to be locked inside. Okay, that is what that attention will be lacking as well. And the fear, the more you have fear and fear, it may lead to your repeated behaviors. Okay, that is called as an obsessive compulsive behavior. You will not be getting it now, but if you don't solve it, you may lead into it, and then anxiety disorder as well. Okay, and then you will feel loneliness. Okay, the loneliness is called, it's more about aloof. It's not being alone. Okay, you can be being alone. I'll be sitting alone at my friend or back on, but I'm not lonely because I can enjoy that what I am, because enjoying yourself is aloof. Aloof is something which is very hard. You would experience it, but you cannot say it of only loneliness. You have to come out of that loneliness. And changes in daily routines. Okay, and the daily change is inevitable. That's what, as I said it is the I'm going it in a wrong another way. Yeah, boredom after that. So it's an adjustment issues, short-term life changes, financial changes because of job loss, or you will be getting only half pay, stressed out, feeling sad and hopelessness, and it may lead to the adjustment and post-traumatic stress disorders. It may lead if you don't solve it or if you don't deal with it. Okay, and then psychological issues next is frustration. You get frustrated sitting and watching all the time television, watching with the family members and within the wall. You will get the frustration, of course, definitely. And then you don't know what to do, and then you start eating, munching something which is junk foods, which is not healthy at all. So stress eating will happen, restlessness and irritability. You don't know what to do, and then you without any purpose, you'll be doing it. And then the sleep disturbances, because you don't have any routines, you may get the sleep disturbances as well. So you have to have a day and night routine, then only you can have a good sleep. And maladaptive behavior. So we will learn unhealthy behaviors because we are not going out, we don't know what to do. We learn something which is unhealthy habits as well. And then it may develop into reactive depression. Okay, if you are there locked in for a long time, you may develop reactive depression, but not a biological depression. Biological depression, you may get it unless otherwise it's hereditary, family history, or some predisposing factors if you have it. So not to really focus on this depression and all, because you may, while for temporary depression, it will be resolved soon. Then coping difficulties. It's physically not much activities, very limited activities, so you have a weight gain, okay, and or you don't eat sometimes, okay. Psychologically, you will have low in mood, stress, anxious, and Kalai is going to talk about the stress management and also other coping difficult strategies. Emotional, so you will feel sad, angry, fearful, and distressed as well. Then social, that's the part is important here during the lockdown, is distancing, social distancing, even in the family, even outside. So that is what it's really difficult for you to talk into the extended families and no outdoor activities. And then the work and career, okay? And you are sitting inside as well long time, working and no space for you. You're not having activities which is balanced as well, and a potential job loss in your mind as well. And then how are you going to manage it? Okay, we should have a daily structure and behavioral activation. Behavioral activation is planning day-to-day activities. It is one of the concept of cognitive behavior therapy. And develop and explore wellness and well-being related activities. Okay, that is very essential during this lockdown period. And develop coping skills, resilience, that is the important part. I'm going to focus more on resilience today, and then creativity and critical thinking. What is behavioral activation? Behavioral activation is identifying what activities the individual have stopped doing in their day-to-day life. That is, it has necessary activities or those which are vital to attend, as otherwise they have significant impact on the person's life. For example, dealing with difficult situation. You have to deal this current lockdown situation. If you are not dealing it, it is going to be piled up, okay, and then it will come as a problems, okay. And then routine activities are those which concentrate on day-to-day or week-to-week activities that are part of everyday life. And then pleasurable activities are those things the person enjoys doing with each other and enjoys themselves. That is very essential. So daily or weekly timetable to-do list you have to do during the lockdown period. That's very essential to do that. I just did it my own. You can fill it up whatever you want to do it. Every one of us have unique style of having their own to-do list. That is what is important. That's what is going to work as well. And then you are going to commit towards that to-do list. And then wellness and well-being tools. Okay, I just focused on different aspects of it. Like we lack, sometimes we focus only on physical activities and we don't focus emotionally. So that's the reason I chose all these 6 of it. That is physical. So you know very well that what you have to do now, you cannot go out. So inside, indoor activities, whatever you can do, you can do. That is up to you what you want to choose it, okay? And then the emotional bit, you have to definitely take at the time. It is a sad situation because everyone are locked inside. So it is appropriate to be sad. And then you have to take step to make yourself happy, to-do list, and do that emotionally, what you like to do most. I can say easily do this, but it's up to you to do what you want to do, okay? And then the spiritual. So you can do some devotional. You can't go to temple, you can't go to mass, you can't go to church. So you can do it at home with faith, whatever faith you have. You can do your practices as well religiously. And then occupational, something which is you have inherited inside, like you want to do some art, but you to walk you couldn't do because you're inside, you can do that. Okay, your art, mini art, something creative, rangoli or anything, you can do that as well. And then something which is very useful, you want to do as a vocational little bit training online, which you can do that as well. And then intellectually something which you can discover, which you want to do, some scientific experiments, and something which you want to create it, which you can do whatever you have with you now. And then social is now not much social networking outside, but inside, virtually you can talk to your friends, you can do your family, extended family, whatever. We can use this social media as a real as a part of your wellness tool as well. And then the next is coping skills. Okay, coping skills is something which every one of us have. It's about reframing yourself. That's what we are doing. Okay, what should I do best to deal with this current situation when we are locked in? Very important thing is self-care. Every one of us have grooming, beauty things. What you want to do, you can do that as well. And work-life balance, that is very, very important, because every one of us been working so far, and then emotionally we didn't deal with it. So it is a work balance. Life is very important. And the time management is very, very important. Okay, you have to plan it within your time frame, what you can do. Something you cannot commit, not to plan it in your to-do list, because what you can commit, you can do that. All right. And then using wellness tools. What I explained before is wellness tool is unique to each and every individual. So you have to have your own wellness tool, something like dancing, singing, which I like it. So that is your part of wellness tool, which you can do that. You're not a great singer, but you can do that. And relaxation, mindfulness with compassion as well, and meditation, you can do that. And then something more productive and a long-term goal as well. You can split it and you can do something which is very productive. Resilience. Any difficult situation, any crisis, you should develop that resilience. Okay, resilience is, you have to foster it from your childhood. Resilience is the ability to protect yourself from the potential negative effects of stressors, the ability to mentally, emotionally, to cope with crisis situation like lockdown situation, is the ability to recover from setbacks, adapt well to change, and keep going, or choose to give up in the face of adversity. So we emerge stronger, wiser, and more able. So how do you develop those skills? Okay, self-awareness, that is a very important thing. Okay, you are self-reflecting yourself, that what am I doing? What is my feelings and desires? Okay, how can I process it mentally? And then how are you going to process it? Through your emotional intelligence, you are going to process it. So self-awareness is very, very important. That is mind and body connection. Okay, that's what. And then the attention is, you are doing the real mind and body connection here. Be flexible to learn and be flexible to adapt the situation, and at the same time maintain the stability and focus on here and now. That is what is about mindfulness, paying attention to present moment. Okay, and then very essential thing is letting go, because as a human we always like regret the past and also think about the future a lot. Okay, but now what you'll have to do is, whatever it happened, let it go. That is what is important. So including your mind and body as well. So physical tension, let it go. When you're stressed out, what will happen is, you say that my shoulder muscles are stiff. That is what you have to release the tension and the mental tension. How are you going to relieve the mental tension? It's creating your own space. That is very important. What I want to do, what's good for my emotion, what's good for my intellectual. Okay, just throw away all unhealthy thinking. Okay, develop and adapt a healthy mechanism to cope with the situation. Okay, and the next one is sustaining positivity. That is very important. You have to instill positivity towards yourself and to others as well. That's very essential. Having said that, it's not that you shouldn't acknowledge your negative emotions. You should, but not to dwell in it. That is what is important. Okay, positivity is something I can do. Where be optimistic, be positive. That is what is important. The next is, every one of you know that Let It Go. I'm not going to sing. I'm only a bathroom singer, so you can see that you would have seen this movie. So Let It Go is the important coping mechanism, which you should use it and then start moving and do the present moment. That is what is important. And I'm going to mention just important 7 C's of resilience and finish off with this session. First thing is control. Control is very important. That is the sense of control, the managing capacity, what you have it. That you have to foster, especially for the children from the childhood. And for the adults, every one of us have resilience, but you should have a sense of control and give the opportunity for them to learn as well, and to feel that they have the control to manage their mind and body. All right. And the next one is confidence. Confidence, it comes by building the real skill and by learning and by doing as well, and getting the knowledge from others are teaching as well. And that is confidence. I think all of us have the confidence. Only thing is we forget to use it. And then the connection. What is connection? That shows that you are not alone in this world. Every one of us are inside locked in. Okay, so be the part of the community and have the emotional bonding support with your family and the community. The government are trying to do a lot of things as well. So you're not left alone. Have that connection. All right. And then the competence. Give the opportunity to develop a specific skills and learn it. How are you going to get this competence? By practicing. Keep practicing it. Okay, nursing is a good example, and medicine is an example that everywhere you have to keep practicing your skills. Then only you will be competent. Once you're competent, you are efficient and pro-efficient in it as well. And then the coping. So coping is, as I said, is reframing yourself. What you did wrong from the bad experience, you're going to modify it and balance it, having a good strategies to cope with the current situation. And then the contribution, explore the situation and being willing to ask for help and giving it to others. Okay, it's not financially. I can do financially a lot, but much more than that, what I give as voluntarily, as emotions wise, what I can support it. Okay, that's what we are doing each other. And now Kalachalvi and me and Tamil, every one of us are contributing to the society during the lockdown time. That's what everyone should be doing it as well. And the last one, not the least one, is the character. Character is very important. It is understanding the rights and wrong what you do, and capacity to follow moral principles and values. It's a gift. Most of them will say that, oh, they are seized down to it. Yes, because the character and the values, what they have it, that is very important for resilience. If you keep learning this, you will be definitely good with your skills of resilience to face with lockdown, not only lockdown, in any difficult or crisis situation, you will do better. It's within you. You have to develop this coping skills. You have to develop that resilience.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I invite Kalai Selvi ma'am continue this session.
Thank you, and I'm glad to meet you all in this platform, and it's a pleasure to share my knowledge with you all guys, and hope this is useful and helpful for you. But as you all know, been introduced as Kalai Selvi Periyan, and I work as a lecturer, but I'm always proud to say that my roots are in India, and my foundation for my career was laid at Madras Medical College, affiliated to Sri Dr. Ramachandra Medical University. So I am quite proud that my foundations were laid there, even though I am at Oxford at the moment. And the topic that was given to me was management of stress and anxiety. and how to manage it when you're at home. So this is something that I have to thought through, purely because it is not just the usual anxiety and stress that I am going to talk about. This is completely different because this is something that we are all experiencing, and it is unprecedented. Nobody has experienced anything like this. So I have to think through it to see what the aim and objectives of my session. And I don't want to sound more negative about things because already we are having quite a lot of negativity around us. And according to the law of attraction, the more we think negative and the more negative things we say, we attract that towards us. So I want to take it through the positive path, and for you to have a positive experience and a positive journey with this session. So so with the aim of that, I thought, how can I do this? So I wanted to focus more on prevention, which is more about not getting to the state of anxiety before even getting that heightened state of anxiety, how you can prevent it and how that happening within yourself, and how can you help yourself when you're at home. So that's what I've focused mainly on this session. And then again, there are the participants are quite varied, I assume. It's just not health professionals. So whoever is attending, I thought they need to benefit as well. And so to every individual's benefit, I have set my objectives yourself and identify your own stress and anxiety, rather than me sitting here and saying that this is the signs and symptoms of anxiety or this is the management for it. Because the anxiety and stress that we are experiencing is different. Each individual experiences it differently. What is stressful for me may not be stressful for somebody else. What's anxiety provoking for me may not be anxiety provoking for someone else. So here I'm going to just provide you with the knowledge for yourself to us. And it is different. It's not the same anxiety that we so far experienced in our life, isn't it? It's not completely different. So I've got a quote here saying that the day you were gifted to the world and this world was gifted to you, put life into life and live it to the hilt. And the live it to the hilt is what was catchy for me, because living to the hilt is living to the uttermost, or living to the full of surprises. I'm getting there some answers. Good, like it. And yeah, life is to live to the hilt. So what hilt means? Life is living to the hilt means doing anything that is the uttermost, with nothing held back. Nothing is stopping you from achieving those things. So I have used this acronym HILT. I've taken this. This is actually when I was thinking about when Dr. Tamilselvi approached me regards the topic, and I was thinking about how am I going to present this to you. I had an opportunity to listen to Nikhil Desai. I don't know how many of you have listened to his, and he used this term, and he used this acronym. But actually, he was talking about the potentials within yourself. But I want to transfer this into the factors that you need to look into to manage your worries and anxieties. So the HILT, H stands for health, I stands for introspection, L stands for learning, and T stands for transformation. It is a jubilant feeling of well-being at physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual level, which has already been dealt by Koper and Devi again. So I'm not going to dwell on it for longer. So it is everything. It is more holistic rather than looking at just one aspect of your life. So when I said do a bit of a self-analysis and self-reflection, this is what I want to look at. I want you to look at what it is look at your health, reflect on your health, see how is your health, how is your physical health. So I would like to compare this a little bit to the relationship status at Facebook, like where it says single, engaged, married, Similar to that, what is your body's relationship to health? Are you happy? Are you living a healthy life, and is your health to an optimum level? So that is like having a single life. Or engagements, are you having any aches and pains? Is your health is like up and down? And married status, when I want to compare that to having something like having a chronic illness. Are you've been diagnosed with diabetes or hypertension, something like that? So it is looking at the relationship of your body with health and seeing where you are, reflect on it and see that, well, if you're having an optimum health, fine, that's fine, carry on. And I think what you're doing is working for you, so continue with it. But if it's not, you're having aches and pains, then think about it. Why is it causing me aches and pains? What I need to change? And then if you've got illness, and like till before this pandemic, you may not have had the time to think about your chronic illness, or you may not be managing it very well. But this is the time. This pandemic is up to you how productive you want to make it. So think about how you want to concentrate, or what you have to improve with your health. And then moving on to mental health, again, nobody is stable. We have days of high and days of low. We might feel depressed, lonely, again, anxious. So look at and reflect on how you're feeling, and how is it affecting your emotions, and how is it affecting your relationship with family, because you're all stuck within four walls now. You're staying together. Like before this pandemic, we maybe say like 2-3 hours spending together in the evening with family members, and then we go to bed, and then we again disperse again in the morning going to work. So we didn't have much time together, whereas now we have a lot of time together because we are all stuck within that four walls. So look at how is your relationship with people, and how is your mood and your mental state is affecting that relationship with the family members. And then the social aspect of it, yes, we've all been social. Either you're an introvert or an extrovert, you would have had a way of socializing. But this pandemic has stopped all that. We're maintaining social distancing. And I can understand that why we are doing it. But the thing is, it doesn't mean that you have to avoid people. Still, you can get in touch with people. And there are ways and means by which, without physically getting closer, you can keep in touch with people. I'm bringing up this one because we are allowed to go out for a walk or for an exercise for an hour here in UK. And then when I go out for walk during my walks, usually like people will be very friendly, say hello to you and smile at you. But when this was introduced, people started even not even giving eye contact. No, we don't need to be like that. So please do get in touch with people and keep in touch. Analyze these aspects. So this is what I want at this stage. I want you to analyze it. See how is my physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual life is. Spiritual, some may be spiritual, some may not be spiritual. Spiritual is not religious, I would say. It's more about living in the presence, being mindful of self, and wanting to know more about what is the journey of life, or what's my purpose in life. And then moving on to the acronym of HILT, where I said I being the introspection. This is more about looking inwards and seeing what you want at this time, or maybe in this life, what you want to achieve, what is your goals. So asking these questions will help you, or help you to focus on what is causing that stress and anxiety. Learning, self-learning, again, reflect on the learning that has taken place during this time of Corona crisis. I would say I've learned quite a lot when I reflected on, especially with technology. I'm doing my WebEx, I'm doing my Google Hangouts. All this have been learned within 3 weeks. So again, start to reflect and see where you have to improve, or what needs to be done, or what's causing that anxieties and worries. And for some of you, it might be something that you wanted to learn for a long time, but you didn't have the time. But this is the time, again, make use of it more productively. And then transformation, when you reflect on transformation, look at yourself as an individual, see what has changed you, how you have changed as a person. And if yes, that's fine, well and good. And you can focus on how you want your future to be and how your future, you want to transform your future. And then focus on it and try and change. So anxiety more in relation to lockdown. We all know that, well, nothing is certain in this world. Pandemic has made it more uncertain for all of us. On top of what I said, to reflect on your health, your inner aspects, your aspirations, your learning and all that, and your transformation. There are additional things like, as I said, having family at home, working or having to work from home. Schools have closed, so we have kids at home all the time. And for me, it was worrying and anxiety provoking, because I have a 9-year-old who always comes to me and says, "Mom, what you're doing, or what can I do?" These are every couple of minutes she'll be there. So our normal routine is affected. So these are things that causes a stress. But understand that you're not the only one. Everybody is going through it, and what we have to do is, rather than worrying about it, accept it. So this is the reality. This is something that everybody is going through, and this is something that we need to get used to and develop your own coping skills to manage those issues, worries, and concerns. And again, as I said at the beginning itself, the anxieties and worries are very much individualized. What is stressful to me may not be stressful to others. So, for example, for some, becoming ill or catching coronavirus would be an issue, a fear for them, or somebody coughing and sneezing near them might be an anxiety-provoking situation for them. But for some, it might be financially issues, because they are the main breadwinner, and they might have to go to work. And sometimes they have this worry of, how am I going to work, support my family without getting ill? So all those kind of issues. And for some, it might be thinking of their loved ones getting ill, and there are quite a lot of vulnerable individuals within the family or dependents that they might have, that they are worried about as well. So again, as I'm saying, we are all in this together. So what we have to do is treat with kindness and respect, because it is necessary for our own health and safety. When they say that there is a lockdown, the human tendency is always to rebel and break, isn't it? So we tend, like, say, don't go out. That's when we want to go out, and that's one. But be kind and respectful, because just because you're breaking the law, it affects the other individuals as well. It affects other individuals' health and safety as well. So be mindful of that. Put your time and energy, utilize this time to take control over, to boost your emotional and physical health. I know that we don't have control over what's happening around us, but still we have control over how we react to the situation. So please do that. Utilize this time to be more productive and for self-development. And again, this was like in Nikhil Desai's presentation. So I thought that sounds good, and it is quite apt to applying to anxiety as well. So he said that there was once a great philosopher asking, what's the size of the sky? The answer was, the size of the sky depends on the size of the window that you look through. So it is up to you. I've put it as an analogy because it is up to you. It is up to you to sit there, worry, and feel anxious about the current situation, or take control over not what's happening around you, but how you're going to react to this. So take control and change your life. So that is what we need here. The change is inevitable. Nobody is excluded from that. We have to change, and that is going to be a new norm, and that is the way our life is going to be. It's the new beginning and a new start, I would say. To start off with simple things, so we've come to the management aspect of it. So so far we looked at what is in identifying what is causing the stress and anxiety for you, with the acronym of HILT. On top of that, the other issues that the lockdown brought with it. And then now we're going to look at the management, and it is more about helping yourself to manage it within when you're in your home. So this is more about managing mild and moderate anxiety rather than severe anxiety. So severe anxiety means you need professional help. So what I'm suggesting here is for mild and moderate, please do take note of it. To start with simple things, limit yourself to news. Yes, I said you need to understand what's happening, so you need to have knowledge. Yes, that's fine, but there are a lot of fake news and a lot of myths around what's happening as well. So avoid those kind of things. Know the facts through reliable sources. WHO website is one of that, and your local and national public health authority advices and recommendations is what you need to follow, rather than just listening to what comes through WhatsApp or a messenger message. As I said, this is a new beginning, a new start of life, and a new way of living life. I have used that new start itself as an acronym again for you. And I'm using this purely because you will be able to remember it. And it's easy, simple things that you could do. And that's why I've taken this and applied in the context of stress and anxiety. So with the new start, the N stands for nutrition, E stands for exercise, W stands for water, S stands for smile and sunshine, T stands for time management, A stands for attitude, R stands for rest, recreation, and T at the end. If you are a religious person and if you believe in God, it is trust in God. Or if you don't believe in God and you think that there is something bigger than us and there is a supernatural power, then so with the new start, nutrition is something that I wanted you to focus on. So when you're doing your self-analysis, I wanted you to look at your health status and your relationship with health, your body and health, isn't it? So if you think that you have an optimum health, that's fine, carry on. But make sure that being at home, there is a tendency for us being at home and working from home, there is a tendency for you to skip meal times or skip a meal. So don't do that. It is you need that break, and you need the energy for you to keep going. So again, concentrate more on healthy eating and having a balanced diet. And if you are a person who has got a chronic illness, maybe this is the time for you to focus on improving those type of chronic illnesses through your diet. Looking at exercise, usually the recommended exercise is that at least you do 30 minutes of exercise 3 times a week. This is not possible at the time, like if you want to go to a gym and do it, or if you want to go out and do it. But instead, you can do that within your home itself by just walking around from one room to another, or following cardio exercise. There's quite a lot of things that you could get through the YouTube video. So just follow those instructions and do some exercise at home. You could try something new like yoga, stretching, all sorts of things. There's quite a lot out there. And then I'll put water there. Being in a tropical country, you need to have this. You keep yourself hydrated. I know that everybody knows this, and why is she saying this to us? Are we that stupid? I'm not saying you're that stupid. The thing is, we don't remember or we don't take care of ourselves. I am as guilty as you, because a few weeks ago I need to do some work and I was working from home, and I was feeling thirsty, but I didn't go down and get my drink, and so the whole day went without drinking. As much as we know, we don't make that effort to look after ourselves. So that is why I said that is very essential. Keep hydrated, helps with your mental health as well. Smile, we tend to forget to smile as well when things are quite stressful. And maybe I know life is hard sometimes and we get caught up with things that's happening around us, but nothing wrong in smiling. And rather than saying smiling, laughing is something that would help, that would be very helpful for your mental health. And laughing therapy is something very popular in India. I know that because I've seen quite a lot of videos. So maybe, or even you can watch funny videos and laugh it out, get that stress out. And then sunshine, yes, it's very hard to get any sunshine. And when the sun shines here, it makes me very happy. And I'm always out there in the garden if I'm at home. And even if I'm at work, I find excuses to get out and be in the sun. So sun makes you feel better. You need that vitamin D. So make sure that you get out and get that some sunshine, and not get out in the sense like getting with people, but make sure that you maintain that 2 meter distance and get that. And then finally, formulate your self-care plan with Great Dream, which is more or less the same as the New Start, which is doing things for others, connect with people, take care of your body, live life mindfully, keep learning new things, have goals to look forward to, and find ways to bounce back, look for what's good, and be comfortable with who you are, and be a part of bigger community. So if you reflect on yourself, find out what your stresses are, and manage it with the New Start or with Great Dream. It's up to you. And finally, change is difficult. And what we think is when we have to change something, we always think about what we need to give up instead of what that you can gain of. So always think positive. So one positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. And change is hard at first, might get messy in the middle, but it's always gorgeous at the end. And finally, to conclude with my session, if you're not taking anything else with you, the 3 things that I want you to take with you is live your life to the hilt by New Start and with Great Dream. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
First Ray, student of psychology from Amity University, Kolkata, is asking how to cope up with the feelings of helplessness or fear if a patient is suffering from cancer, and this pandemic is also causing fear and isolation to him.
It is reassurance. Whoever is her or his healthcare worker need to reassure that individual, and maybe help her to think about how she could keep herself occupied, and share that New Start with the individual.
And one more question: how to manage conflicts within the family during this lockdown period? As we all know, we are staying at our homes all the time, so we can have conflicts with our family members. So how to manage those conflicts?
Good question. Good question. Again, think about that New Start, the time management and structure. Have a structure to yourself and to your partner, and within the family as well. So, and take turns as well. Like when you're working from home, and if both partners are working from home, have on duty time and off duty time. So the first half of the like from the morning till afternoon, one person can work, and then the other person can look after the kids or keep themselves occupied, or do the time things that they would like to do. And time for self is very important. So even though they are our partners or they are our kids, we do need our own space. So create that own space time as well. That would help to have maintain that relationship within the family members.
In the current time when we are lacking human familiarity, how to overcome the feeling of isolation as we are not able to meet our friends, relatives, family, and all?
That's a good question again. We are living in a world where that everything is within our palm. So we can connect more virtually with people. So I have some tips here for you to connect virtually with people, which is like, maybe I talked about exercise to you, isn't it? So with exercise, we won't be motivated to do exercise at home when we are at home. It's hard enough to go to gym or go out and do an exercise. So it is going to be hard. So you can talk to your friends, set same time, and then maybe virtually connect, have a Skype call or a WhatsApp call, and then do the exercise together, and then share a recipe with your friends, and then cook that on the same day and virtually share it. Have a virtual dinner together, and watch a movie together. So choose a movie with your friends that you would like to watch together, and then maybe watch and have that chat while like virtual chat while you're watching those movies. So this is the way you could keep yourself connected.
One more question, ma'am. How to keep ourselves insulated from the looming anxiety and fears that come with working from home? As we all are working from home currently, we are in lockdown. So we
Yeah.
are facing this anxiety situation. So how to overcome these kind of anxiety and fears while working from home?
I was in the same situation when they said, yes, you can work from home. Even before this pandemic, I was able to work from home, but more, it wouldn't be as productive as how it would be when you're at work. And again, what I want you to remember is accept it. You're not the only person. We're not able to be productive as others, or how you would be when you are at work. So it's acceptance is very, very important. And then again, as I said, structure your day, plan what you're going to do for that day, make a to-do list, and then continue with it. I know you would be disturbed, but again, you need to say, if you've got young kids or your family members that need you, they don't realize that you're working from home. They think they would expect you to do things that you've been doing for them when you were at home without working. So explain to them as well. Communication is very, very important. Tell them that, actually, look, this is my time, this is my work time, so please don't disturb me. And young kids, we think as parents, young kids wouldn't understand, but no, they will understand. They know, okay, mom's working or dad's working, I shouldn't. And again, they are off school, so maybe create that structure to your kids as well. Get them to do some homework, or get them to do a work, or even if it's not an educational stuff, if it's something that recreational for them, get them to involve in that kind of activities when you are working, so that you don't feel that you're not as productive as you are, and that, oh God, I'm not able to do what I'm worrying about it. Just accept it, and you can't be perfect. There's no way you can be perfect, and everybody would understand, so not to worry.
How to manage studies during this lockdown period through online classes? They are getting bored through online classes.
Bored of online classes? That is a question that has to be put to the academics that they are studying in. I think you got to be, as academics, you got to be a bit more creative in the way you deliver your sessions. Here at Oxford Brookes University, what we do is, ours is more like a knowledge sharing session. It's not more of a traditional didactic, like teaching and they being a listener. It's more of interactive session, and the students that we teach are having more knowledge and experience, personal life experiences that they bring in as well, which is very, very much valuable especially with the nursing profession. So it has to be more interactive, make it more interesting for them. For the student who have asked that question, what I would say is, come prepared for the session. Don't just go and sit in there and expect your teachers or your lecturers to say everything that you want to know about it, so that you can be a contributory as well, and get engaged in the sessions, so that you don't get bored. And look at what are the other things that's being done, and other parts of the country or other parts of the world. Another thing I can suggest to the academics is that for you to be a bit more flexible, because it's not face-to-face teaching, and it's not something that they have been prepared or we have been prepared. Online teaching is something new for us and new for the students as well. It will take time for us to improve it, at the same time for them to find it more interesting and engaging as well. So we need to take that into consideration and be flexible. And even with the assessments and things, we are quite flexible, giving like open book tests and things like that, which I'm not sure whether it's possible over there, but that is something that we are, except for exams like assignment and certain other things that we can't do face-to-face assessment, we have changed it to a open book system. So yeah.